Today's lesson we're going to learn how to make this beautiful beanie. It is called the Tezzie hat and the pattern is written by Cat's Rockin' Crochet. I will put a link in so you can visit her blog. It is a very beautiful pattern. Let me just get a bit closer. We have these wonderful shell-like stitch pattern here. You're going to have to excuse my lighting. I'm trying to film this at night time. But as you can see, you've got your ribbed band here. Let's see if we can get a better light if we move it. We've got this beautiful stitch pattern. And it's actually sort of, what would you say, 3D. It sticks out a little bit so you can see the pattern. It is a very beautiful pattern, like I said. So I recommend that we print out our pattern and follow along with the video. In today's lesson we are going to follow along with Cat's Rockin' Crochet Tezzie hat pattern. It is a really cute pattern. I love the stitch pattern that we've got down the hat here. Go to her blog. I will put the link in the description box below. Go to a blog, check out these photos. They are really, really good. I've actually shrunk them down to fit onto my pattern. So let's have a look at the pattern and see what we've got. It was written on the 31st of July 2011 and it's called the Tezzie hat. So look for her on Facebook, Cat's Rockin' Crochet, that's with a C, cat with a C, and like a page for more free patterns. There are loads of patterns on her blog and she's got a great Facebook page there as well if you've got Facebook. So got some pictures here to show you what it looks like. We're going to use a hook size Australian 4mm or 4mm wherever you are, or it's a US size G or a size 6. The yarn that I'm going to use today and that is also in this pattern is Australian 8-ply. It's also equivalent to a US 4-ply and you're going to need approximately 50 grams of yarn to make this pattern. US terms are used throughout Cat's pattern and also on the video, and it's a beginner plus skill level. You will need to know the following stitches, and they are the chain stitch, a slip stitch, a single crochet, double crochet, front post double crochet, and a back post double crochet, and a treble, and a front post treble crochet. If you don't know, there is a link on her blog with this pattern, and if you click on that link it will take you to the instructions. So the setup row. The setup round is 2 double crochets, a 4 chain and 2 double crochets, and it's going to look like this. You're going to have your 4 chains there with your 2 stitches. Row 2 is your pattern row, so that's when you put in this lovely pattern that we have up here. And then the completion row is the third pattern of the third row of the pattern, and that's just 1 double crochet in each stitch around. Your special stitch that we're going to use is 4 front post trebles, and it's worked around the second double crochet of the skipped double crochet of the row below, and I'm sure that is going to make sense when we have a look at our pattern. So let's get started. The stitch count for the pattern is over 6 stitches and you're going to repeat it around. To begin, complete the basic double crochet crown for the size that you want, and the beginning chain 3 is always counted as a stitch. To go to Cat's blog, there is a pattern for the basic double crochet crown, and once you have the pattern done and you have the size that you need, this is what it's going to look like, and that's when we start our Tezzie hat pattern. So let's get started. Row 1, and you need this pattern to follow along with, so I do suggest that you print it out. I'm going to read it and then we're going to do it, but I won't refer back to that same row because you'll have your pattern with you, but I'm going to read it so you know what it says. Chain 3, work 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 4, skip 4 double crochet, and then we have this star. Work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. You're going to chain 4, skip the next 4 double crochets, and then there's another star. Then it says repeat from star to end. So what you do is you go back to the star and you work that line up to there and then up to the star. So from star to star means from here to here, and you're going to repeat whatever is in between the stars to the end and slip stitch into the top of the beginning, chain 3 to join the round. So let's do it. First of all, we need to chain 3. I'm sure we all know how to do that. Work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So going into the next stitch, here is our chain 3. There is our next stitch. You're working 1 double. We're going to chain 4. And I haven't actually started this pattern, so we're both learning together here to do this pattern. We're going to skip 4 double crochets. So going to our stitches, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then it says you got your stars. This is where the start of it is. So work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to work into that one. So it's going to look like that. You've got your chain 4 space there. So it was work 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. So that's 1. And then in the next space, next stitch, we work another one. We want to chain 4. Skip the next 4 double crochets and then repeat from star to star. So it will skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next one, you want to go back to the star. So it says work 1 double crochet into the next 2. So yarning over, going into that stitch we need to go into. And then work 1 into the next 2 stitches. So you've got 1 in that stitch and 1 in that stitch, and you've got your chain 4. So it should look like this so far. And we want to repeat this all the way around till we get to the end. So it was chaining 4, skipping 4, and then doing a double crochet in that 5th stitch because you've skipped 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 in there, 1 into the next one, chaining 4, skipping 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the next one and the next stitch, chaining 4, and then you just want to repeat this all the way around. So when we get to the end, we're going to chain 4, and then we'll be up to where we very first started, and you should have 4 stitches left. So it says repeat it to the end, so we've done that, and then slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 to join the round. So what that means, you've got 1, 2, 3. You're going to slip stitch into that 3rd and pull through, and that will secure off that round. Let's start on the next row. Row 2, we want to chain 3, and I'm just going to read this row first. Work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, work 4 front post trebles around the 2nd skipped double crochet of the row below. Then working back on this row, which means the row that we're working on, not the row below, we want to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 double crochets. Work 4 front post trebles into the 2nd skipped double crochet of the row below. Repeat from star to star. So we're going to repeat from star there, that whole row, down to this star here. And then slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 3 to join the round. And I had to just do that little bit off camera because to read it I was like, I have no idea, but when you actually did it, it wasn't exactly that hard. So what we need to do, we've joined our round and I've already chained 3, and now we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next. So this is where you need your pattern to read along with me. So we've got the 2 there, 1 in each of the 2 below. And it says work 4 front post trebles around the second skipped double crochet of the row below. So this is the row we're on at the moment, this is the row below. So this is our first skipped stitch, and this is our second. And we're going to be working around the post of this stitch, and the post is that part there. We're going to be working a front post treble. So to make a treble, we want to yarn over twice, go down to this stitch, and we're going in from the front next to it and round the back of it. So it's just, don't know if I can see this, just around the back. I'm not actually in a stitch, I'm just around the back of it. And then we complete the stitch as normal. So it's yarning over, pull through, so pull through the stitch we just went behind. We have 4 in our hook, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarning over, pulling through 2, and yarning over, pulling through 2. So we've worked around the post there, it's sticking out. So we need to work 4 of those. That was the first one. So the second one, yarn over twice. Helps if you hold on to your stitches there. Go around the back like we did before, so it's going next to the stitch, around the back and out the other side. Yarning over, pulling up a loop. We have 4 in our hook, yarning over and pulling through 2. Yarn over through 2 and through 2. We need to put 4, so we need 2 more. Yarning over, going into the same stitch where we did before, around the back of it. Completing our stitch, and then doing another one, so that's our 4 stitches completed. And we have this quite pretty stitch pattern there. So the next part of our pattern says, let me just find it. Now we're up to the bit where the star starts. So working back on this row, so we're going back to the row here that we're working on, not the one below. Work 1 double crochet into the next 2. That's easy. So we're just working a double crochet into the stitch there and into the next one as well. So this is what it looks like. You've worked 2 on the row we're working on, 4 front post trebles down into the stitch down here on this row, and then gone back up and done 2 more on this row. So we now need to do the same thing we just did down here. So yarning over twice, finding the second skip stitch, this is the first one, this is the second one, going behind the stitch and working our treble. So yarning over twice, behind the stitch, working our treble. We need 4 altogether. And then it says, where am I up to? Oh, and then we want to repeat from star to star. So our repeat is going into the next double crochet with a double crochet. And then the next one. So we're basically repeating this all the way around. So the next part, you know when you get up to your chain space here, that you're working your 4 front post trebles into that second skip stitch. So let's do 1 more and then you're on your own, and you have to repeat it all the way around. So this is our first skip stitch, here's our second. Yarning over twice, going behind the stitch, so in from the front, behind and out the other side. Oops. Through 2, through 2 and through 2. Doing this 4 times. A little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy to do. So we've got 4 stitches, then we go back up to these 2 that are here and we work 1 double crochet in each. So I want you to work that pattern around. If you get stuck, you can rewind the video a little bit to help you with your 4 front post trebles. That's a mouthful, isn't it? You want to say that when you're drunk. Not that I drink, but if you were. So let's just flip it up, see what it's looking like. Isn't that just coming out really pretty? That is going to look really good once we've got our hat finished. So repeat it around and I'll catch up with you when we get to the end of the row. So we should be up to the end of our pattern and we've got our 2 stitches already there, so all we need to do is slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And then row 3 says chain 3, work 1 double crochet in each stitch around, slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain 3 to join the round. Please count your double crochet stitches. You should have the same amount of double crochets as you did before you began the pattern, or the pattern rows. So if you have followed Cat's Rockin' Crochet basic double crochet crown pattern, there is a video for this. You would have followed this to start your other pattern. If you follow it finished on row 5, you should have 60 stitches. I have finished on row 6, so I should have 72 stitches. When you do this next row of just 1 double crochet in each stitch, when you finish, you should have that same amount of stitches. If you didn't and you're 1 off, if you've got 1 less, maybe do an increase in the last stitch. If you've got too many, you'll need to do a decrease. So this row we just chain up 3 and in each stitch around we're just working 1 double crochet all the way around. And then after we finish this row we're going to slip stitch to join. And we're just going to repeat pattern, which is rows 1 through 3. We are going to repeat it 3 more times if it's for the small to medium size hat that you use for your basic crown, or 4 times if it is for the bigger sized hat, which was the larger hat. The height without the hat edge slightly stretched is approximately 8 inches. So if you need to add the edge, we've got a pattern for that too. So I'm just going to finish off until I have my 4 repeats, because I've chosen the larger size one, and then we can get started on the brim or the hat edge. So after we finish our pattern repeats, we're left with something that looks like this. Now it's time to put on our border, and I've left one of my pattern repeats off because I'm making this one for a small child, but that's okay. So you should have 4 lots of shells. Well, it's not really a shell, but we'll just say shells, okay? This little pattern here, our shell pattern, you should have 4 lots. I only have 3 because it's for a child. So let's get started on the border. Now the hat edge, beginning chain 3 will not be counted as a stitch. Row 1, chain 3, and we want to work a front post double crochet around the same stitch. Work a back post double crochet around the double crochet, work 1 front post double crochet around the next double crochet, work 1 back post double crochet around the next double crochet, and repeat from start to end, making sure we end with a back post double crochet, slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 to join the round. Did you understand that? Probably not. Let's see what we got to do. So putting our pattern aside so it's out of view, there we go. what we need to do, and I'm not going to show you the written part again. I'll just read. You've already got it written down next to you anyway. So we want to chain 3. We've done our chain 3, and now it says work a front post double crochet around the same stitch. So when it says same stitch, it means the stitch below. So wrapping your yarn, going in from the front next to the stitch, around the back of the stitch, not going through any stitches, just around the back, yarning over, pulling up a loop, and then we complete our double crochet as normal. And then it says we want to work a back post around the next double crochet. So going on to your next stitch, a back post means we yarn over, and we actually go around the back of our work, put your stitch through that gap next to the double crochet we're working around, go over the stitch into that next gap, and then work our stitch as normal. And then work a front double crochet, front post double crochet around the next, and work a back post double crochet around the next. So what we're doing is we are just alternating between a front and a back post. So let's do it again. We need to go around the front because this stitch is around the back. So around the front, you yarn over, go in from the front, and we're working with this stitch here. So it's going in next to the stitch, going around the back, so you're just putting your hook between the gap that is around the back, and you're coming out next to that stitch that we're working around. Yarning over, and then working our stitch as normal. Then we want to work a back one, because we just ran around the front of this one, so we're going around the back of our work. So we've yarned over, gone around the back of the stitch that we need to go to, through the gap next to the stitch, over the top and through the gap on the other side of the stitch, and work your stitch as normal. You want to alternate this all the way around this row until we get back to the beginning of the row. So I'm nearly up to the end of my row, and my last stitch was a front post, and in our instructions on our pattern it says make sure to end with a back post double crochet, and then we want to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. So this is my front post, my next stitch is my last stitch, and that is going to be a back post. So make sure you end on your back post. And then we need to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And row 2, I'm just going to read it to you. It says chain 3, and then we've got a star. Work a front post double crochet around the front post double crochet, and work a back post double crochet around the back post double crochet. Repeat from start to end, slip stitch to the top of your chain 3 to join your round. So basically all we're doing is, first of all, we're going to chain 3. So you know how to do that. So chain 3. And now what we have to do is, when we look on the row below, it is a front post double crochet, isn't it? Because it's sticking out to the front of our work. And this next stitch, which is here, is hiding it. See how it's poking out to the back? It should be able to be more noticeable on your work. So if you're looking at a front post double crochet, you're going to do a front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go under that stitch that's sticking up there, and then you're going to work your stitch as normal. And then if it's at the back, so it's hiding at the back, you are going to go around the back of the stitch, in and over it, so you've gone over like that, and then working your back post. And then our next one is sticking out here, so it's a front post, and the next one is at the back, because it's sticking out at the back. So you're going to go around the back of the work, coming out next to the stitch and working over the top. And then we're going to work like this all the way around until we get to the end, and then we're going to slip stitch to join. And when we're finished, we should have a hat that looks like this. You're going to have to excuse the lighting at this part in the video because I'm filming at night and my lighting's not very good in the night time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video anyway, and please share your creations. You can either share them on our Facebook page, Bob Wilson 123, or email me a photo of your creation to the email in the box below, in the description box below. And until next time, happy crochet!